Good afternoon, everyone. Time once again for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. I'm Spokane Steve. And we're getting ready to wind down May 15th. 2 games left on this date, today and tomorrow. Today's game, the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shout out to Kenyon and Kelly who have joined the chat here. Let me refresh this so I can see it a little better. This is the final game of a 3-game series between these two clubs. The Dodgers have won the first 2 games. The Pirates looking to avoid the sweep in their home park today with 2 Dons on the mound. But first, let's take a quick look at how tight the National League standings are. I'm going to swing this into position here. We find the Dodgers a half a game ahead of the Pirates by 1 loss, although you can see they're dead even in winning percentage. Phillies and Astros just 2 back, and the Cardinals just 4 back. Let me swing this into its proper position here, the other laptop, so I can get to the numbers for the teams, the team stats. And then I have an announcement too. And there's Frank. Welcome, Frank. Okay, Sutton and Cardwell. Sutton, the rookie, of course, a fine rookie season. Cardwell, mediocre card, I guess I'd call it. He's got a little long ball problem. Not terrible in the on base against righties, but you can see he's got a pretty bad card against left-handed hitters. What have they done in the replay? Well, let's take a look. For Sutton, he's made 7 starts. He's 4-0 with a 1.80 earned run average. 2 complete games, one of them a shutout. Cardwell has made 3 starts. He's 1-2 with a 3.86 ERA. Does not have a complete game. And Kenyon, you're absolutely right. Braves, Reds, and Mets fueling those top records. Boy, I can't argue with that. There's Ben, and there's Astros Reefer. But you gotta love that name, right? I certainly do. And then we've got some other thing I wanted to pull out here. Because I don't always do this, but due to the length of yesterday's game, and I was tired at the end and didn't finish totaling it out, so I printed out the box score of yesterday's game. You know, for those of you who don't know it, Don Sutton is my all-time favorite ball player. Sutton never lost a game that I attended. Now, that's what I call a loaded stat, okay? The Dodgers / Angels did lose some games that he started that I attended, but he never took the loss. Pretty impressive stat, really. I used to tell people, jump in the car, it's a guaranteed win. So here's yesterday's. I've changed this, by the way. I got tired of these Strat-O-Matic inserted team names. A licensing issue, right? Taylor, of course, took the loss. Fox got the win. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Astros. 4 runs, 10 hits. Still can't believe it. 6 errors for the Phillies. 13 innings. Hell of a game. Having said that, I would not mind at all seeing the Pirates win this one myself. Hate to see them get swept in their own yard, right? Oh, how many games? Oh, good grief. From 72, let's say. Let's say halfway through 72 to 79. 8, let's say that's 40. Somewhere between 40 and 50, I would guess. A lot. I mean, for that to occur, that's a lot of games for something like that to happen. And it's a matter of happenstance or circumstance, right? It is Forbes Field. Just over 16,000 in the house on a Sunday afternoon. Well, I went to a ton in the 70s. Not many cents, a handful cents. I was at Sutton's 300th win at the Big A when he was with the Angels. Told everybody it's in the bag tonight. And he pitched a complete game. He wasn't pitching any complete games in 1986. I think he had 3 or maybe 4 that year. He was getting old and pitched a complete game. Almost a shutout. I think it was Jeff Burroughs homered in the 8th or the 9th. I think it was the 9th, actually, to ruin the shutout. He was a shutout thrower, too. Very high on the all-time shutout list. 50-something. 55, I want to say, without looking it up. Tonight, my cousin will land from Sarasota, Florida. This is going to cause a fairly extreme change in my broadcast schedule. Due to family being here, Stuart will be here through the 10th or the 12th of August, I want to say. And there's Kenyon to bail me out again. 58 career shutouts. You know, Frank, if I lived there, I probably would have. The one thing you should know about Spokane Steve is he doesn't like to fly. So tomorrow's game, for example, I'm going to say tentatively it's probably going to be about a 10 a.m. game, Pacific time. We're going to be going out to lunch, and then probably, I imagine my cousin will want to rest tomorrow. So my sister, the older of the 3, most likely will prepare dinner. And some drinks will be had by all. So yeah, most likely these are going to be earlier games during the visit. Now, I'm not going to be over there every day. There's going to be days they're going to want to do something. And on those days, I'll shoot for the more usual 1:30 p.m. start. You might lose a couple of games, Frank, but what I'm saying is I'm going to try to schedule around that. And what I've been thinking about this for a while, the best way for me to do that is to get a game in early here in the day and free up the rest of the day. So I'm shooting for a somewhere in the 10 to 11 a.m. range tomorrow, for example. And we'll see how it plays out. Here's Mookie right here. So far he's behaving himself. That's not going to last when the dice start rolling. So, without any further ado, let's get you the Dodger lineup and we'll get this one started. Maury Wills leading it off at shortstop. Jim Gilliam at third base in the 2 spot. Willie Davis bats third and center. Ron Fairley in right in the cleanup spot. Wes Parker at first base hits 5th. John Roseburg will do the catching and bat 6th. Griffith, now I gotta look up his name. Was it Doug Griffith? Hang on a second. I can't think of the guy's name. Daryl Griffith. No, it's Ann, Frank, my oldest sister. So Daryl Griffith will be in left hitting 7th. John Kennedy's at second base today in the 8th spot. Sutton hitting 9th. For the Pirates defensively, Jim Pagliarone doing the catching. Clendenin at first. Mazeroski and Alley, that Gold Glove double play combo up the middle. Bob Bailey at third with the outfield left to right of Manny Mota, Matty Alou, and of course the great Roberto Clemente. Let me get my stats pulled up again. Well, thank you, Frank. Well, I will, of course, but I don't want to miss too many games. I'd like to keep this thing rolling as much as possible. So let's just say we'll take it on a day-to-day basis. But as I say, it'll be earlier games, which I understand is maybe inconvenient for some of you. I don't know, show of hands, how many people in the chat now would watch a game tomorrow that started at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern? All right, Cardwell has completed his warm-ups. Maury Wills steps in. Switch hitter hitting lefty. He's batting .308 on the season. No homers, just 3 RBIs. Cardwell gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And we are underway on a 3-7 right-handed. Right in the heart of his good column, he grounds one into the hole. Smothered by Mazeroski. To his feet, fires to Clendenin, and there's one down. Yeah, right, you met Shannon. The middle of the 3 sisters. Here's Gilliam now. Jim Gilliam hitting just .167 so far. 5 for 30. He does have a home run. Switch hitter hitting lefty against Cardwell. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. That's a .210 right-handed. Fly ball into right field. Routine for Clemente. And quickly there's 2 down. Here's Willie Davis now with 2 down. Davis hitting .313. No homers, 15 RBIs. Cardwell gets the sign. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. That's a 5-7 left-handed. It's a double to 15 on a 17, however. Davis will round and hold with a long single. So Davis aboard. Davis has wheels. Star 15 Steeler. Let's check the battery now. Cardwell with a horrendous +9 hold. Pagliarone is 0R. The most it can be is 5, of course. That would make Davis a 20. Held, he's an 18. That's too tempting to not try for. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. That's going to be a 7. And he does not establish the lead. On the back number, he'd be 18 minus 4. He's still 14 on the back number, but Fairley will hit away. Fairley hitting 245, 2 homers, 17 RBIs. Cardwell from the stretch. 4-11 left-hander is a fly ball to left field X. That's going to be for Mota. Tough play for Manny. Fine left fielder. 2E2 as he ranges back. And here's the play on an 11. It's the E rating. It's a 3 on an E2, and he can't glove it. That's going to be ruled an error on Mota, a 2-base error. Davis will stop at third. So a rare error by Manny Mota puts runners at second and third with 2 down, and Wes Parker will come to the plate. Parker batting .283 so far, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Johnny Roseboro on deck. Cardwell checks the runners now. The pitch to Wes Parker. 2-7 right-handed. He struck him out. Big strikeout there from Don Cardwell, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 2 left on. After half an inning of play, Los Angeles nothing. Pittsburgh coming to bat. Full transparency, Frank, I have two brothers and a sister deceased. 3 sisters still living. And I am the oldest. As Sutton gets ready to work, let's go over the Pittsburgh lineup. Matty Alou in center leads things off. Manny Mota in left field batting second. Clemente in right hits third. All 3 outfielders at the top of the order. Jim Pagliarone, the catcher, hits cleanup. Gene Alley, the shortstop, in the 5 spot today. Don Clendenin at first base. Bill Mazeroski at second. Bob Bailey at third hits 8th. Cardwell, the pitcher, batting 9th. And likewise, Frank, it's been a long time. They say time heals all wounds. I'm not sure about that one, but it does soften them. And there's Franklin. Welcome, Franklin. So Sutton's ready to go to work now as Matty Alou steps to the plate. Lefty hitting .283. No homers, 6 RBIs. Roseboro flashing the sign. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. That's going to be a 2-3 right-handed. Foul ball behind the plate. Roseboro back and grabs it for the out. Here's Manny Mota now. Mota hitting .351 on the season. 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Sutton into the windup. Here's the pitch to Mota. 3-11 right-hander to grounder to first base. Parker has it. He'll take it himself. And there's 2 away. And coming to bat now, Roberto Clemente. Clemente batting .316 so far. 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. Sutton gets the sign, the windup, and the pitch is a 1-4 right-handed, a two-hopper down to third. Gilliam has it, over to Parker, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Bucks in the first. We played one here in Pittsburgh. There's no score. Oh, absolutely, Ben. You said it. Moving to the second inning in this one, John Roseboro will start things off. Roseboro off to a slow start at just 191. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Left-handed hitting catcher standing in against Cardwell. The windup and the pitch is a 2-7 righty. It's a grounder to second. Maz, routine play for Mazeroski. Tossed to Clendenin for the out. And here's Darrell Griffith now. Griffith, a left-handed batter with weak power. Nameless card representing Griffith. The only alteration to this card, of course, will be if he hits one of these home runs, that will be changed into a double. Griffith will not be allowed to homer, as he had no homers. Only 15 at-bats in real life. Not even worth making a card for. Cardwell set. The pitch to Griffith is a 2-5. Fly ball into right. Clemente under it. And there's 2 down. That'll bring up Kennedy, the second baseman. Kennedy just 4 for 30. That's a 133 average. Cardwell into the windup. The pitch to Kennedy is a 1-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's strikeout number 2 for Don Cardwell. Dodgers go down in order in the second. And we move to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Yeah. I don't remember what we did, Ben. I don't think we did that. I think we just played with a short lineup. We had quite a few 6-on-6 games. I do remember that. To the bottom of the second we go. Jim Pagliarone will lead things off. Among the league leaders, hitting .364. 3 home runs, 17 RBIs for the right-handed hitting catcher. Sutton into the windup now. Comes in there with a 5-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Sutton broke off a dandy curve. Pagliarone swings right over the top of it, and here's Gene Alley. Gene Alley at .386, leading the club in batting. 27 for 70 with a home run and 10 RBIs. Sutton into the windup now. 1-6, struck him out. Second strikeout for Sutton. And here's Don Clendenin, the right-handed first baseman, hitting .255. 5 home runs and 13 RBIs. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Clendenin now on a 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. That'll be Kennedy, a 3E17. Kennedy ranging behind the bag, and here's the play. On an 18, he's there, turns and throws in time, and the side is retired. 4-3X. 3 up, 3 down, and we're through 2 innings scoreless. Well, I don't know, Frank. I'm not counting Strat-O-Matic. In fact, just the opposite is true. On the keeper league teams, retro teams, or even our face-to-face league back in the day, The exact opposite was true. Sutton was very unlucky for me in Strat-O-Matic. So the old saying, you can't have it all. Here's Cardwell now as we move to the third. Sutton will lead things off. Right-handed hitter 3W. And here's the pitch. 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder up the middle. Cut off there by Gene Alley. Throws to Clendenin in time. So Alley shading the pitcher up the middle. Able to make a fairly routine play on that one. And with one down, here's Wills. Wills 0 for 1 today. Cardwell getting the sign. Here's the pitch to Wills. It's a 1-9 right-handed. Grounder wide to second. Mazeroski plugs up the hole, turns and throws to Clendenin. 2 away. And here's Gilliam now. Gilliam 0 for 1 today. Cardwell into the windup. It's a 4-9 left-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Cardwell now has retired 7 straight. Just one hit in this ball game so far, as both pitchers seem to be very much on their game this afternoon. We played some games where there was only a left and a center fielder, and right field was considered a foul ball. Stuff like that. We didn't have a left-handed player. Not a one. We had one kid who tried to be a switch hitter, but really couldn't do much from the left side of the plate. He'd basically hit shallow fly balls to right, which of course would be called foul balls. Bottom of the third we go. It's Mazeroski to start us off, hitting a cool 300. 1 home run, 12 RBIs for Maz. Sutton set now, the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 2-8 right-handed. It's a grounder into the hole. Wills there, throws to Parker. In time, 1 down. Here's Bob Bailey now, the right-handed hitting third baseman. Comes into the game batting .309. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Sutton into the windup. 4-7 right-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Sutton. 2 down, and the pitcher will come to the bat now. It's Cardwell. Right-handed hitter, 1W. And here's Sutton's pitch to him. On a 4-7 right-handed, he struck him out. 4 Ks for Sutton. 3 up, 3 down in the third. We played 3 in Pittsburgh, and we are scoreless. Who's going to blink first? 1 hit in the ball game, a 2-out single by Willie Davis back in the first. And Willie will lead off the fourth. Cardwell staring in to get the sign now. The windup, the pitch to Willie Davis. That's going to be a 1-4 right-handed. Foul ball behind the plate. Pagliarone back, drops the mask, and makes the grab for the first out. That'll bring up Fairley. Reached on an error in the first inning, 0 for 1. Cardwell into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Fairley. It's going to be a 4-4 left-handed. That's catcher's card X. Pagliarone a 3-E2. And here's the play. On an 18, that will be a foul out to the catcher. Pagliarone makes the play. F2X. 2 foul outs to the catcher, and here's Wes Parker. Parker struck out his first time against Cardwell. Cardwell staring in now. The windup and the pitch to Fairley is a 6-7 left-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's twice Cardwell's got Parker. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. Pitchers duel in Pittsburgh. Scoreless game as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Thinking more about my schedule over the next 10 to 12 days. Does anybody think I should just skip the game if I can't go on at 1:30, or do you think it's better if I play it early? The other option would be to play it late, but I'm talking, 7 or 8 p.m. my time, most likely, which is going to be late for all you guys on the east side of the country. As always, I'm open to suggestions. Top of the order for the Pirates in the bottom of the 4th. Matty Alou 0 for 1 in this one. Sutton into the windup. That's going to be a 6-8 left-handed. That is ripped over the bag and down the right field line. Alou rounding. He will coast into second with a leadoff double, and that's the first Pirate hit of the afternoon. Double to 7, the roll is a 2, and Alou's on board with a leadoff double. Here's Manny Mota now. Mota 0 for 1 in this one. Sutton checks the runner, now comes set. The pitch to Mota. 6-9 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up is Griffith on the track. Makes the catch for the out. So Mota gave it a ride. 6-9. 1-4. It's a loud out to left. One down, and here's Roberto Clemente. Stargell again. Missing from the starting lineup. He's available to pinch hit. Clemente 0 for 1. Sutton into the windup. Here's the pitch to Roberto. It's a 2-4. Fly ball into right field. Fairly backing up a bit. B question mark. Does that apply to third base? No, that only applies to a runner on third. So that's a fly out to right, 2 down. And it'll be up to Pagliarone. Yeah, I think the late option is probably by far the least likely to happen. If we party like I think we're going to, I'd be wasted by then anyway. Hey, I'm just stating the facts, guys. Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking too, Franklin. I'd like to not miss a lot of games. I mean, what looks to be slightly under a 6-year project by my estimation. I really don't want to dink around with it and turn it into a 7-year project. Not that I want to rush through it either. In fact, one thing this replay has taught me, and I'd like to know how you guys feel about this, but in a lot of my keeper leagues and leagues on the computer game, for many, many years now, I've been obsessed with getting it done, the results. I want to see the final record. I want to see the final stats. And doing these games live, I don't feel that way. I feel like the only thing that matters is today's game. It doesn't matter what their records are. Let's take the Met game from the other day. Was anybody really thinking about the Mets' record during that game? Because I sure wasn't. For one day, the Mets were kings. And that day, that was the only game that mattered. Because getting there is half the fun, Rusty. You know that. Bottom of the fourth, Jim Pagliarone will lead it off. Struck out his first time against Sutton. Sutton into the windup. There's the pitch to the right-handed hitting catcher. It's a 2-10 base hit into left field on a 19. He just does get it on a 19. Wait a second. Okay, excuse me. I got distracted there. I forgot where I was. 2-10 righty is a one-star single to left field. That will hold Alou up at third base. So the Dodgers catch a break there, a one-star single. Anything open, Alou would have tried to score a 1-15 runner. So runners at the corners and 2 down, and Gene Alley the hitter. Alley 0 for 1 today, struck out in the second. Sutton checks the runners now from the stretch. The pitch to Alley is a 5-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Big strikeout from Sutton, number 5 on the game, and that ends the inning. No runs, 2 hits. The Pirates waste a chance and leave a pair. And we're scoreless through 4. Yeah, Franklin, and I did when I was younger too. It was in that middle period, from let's say around 30 years of age or so until I started doing this YouTube streaming. When we were young, we went to the ballpark. You didn't think about, I've been to many Mariners games where they had terrible teams. You didn't think about that when you went to the ballpark. You were hoping for your team to win on that day because you were there. You were rooting for your guys. You were living in the moment, completely, I wouldn't say unaware of where they were in the standings, but you certainly weren't focused on that. You were focused on the game at hand, and that's what this is really all about to me. That's why I'm not in a big hurry to rush through this thing. Each game is its own adventure. Each game is its own reward. We go to the 5th in a scoreless duel. John Roseboro will lead it off for the Dodgers. Cardwell gets the sign from Pagliarone now. Here's the windup. 1-6, he draws the walk. So it's a leadoff walk to Roseboro. And that'll bring up Griffith. Griffith 0 for 1. Cardwell out of the stretch. Pitch to Griffith is a 1-8 liner right into the glove of Gene Alley. So a soft liner to short from Griffith. And that'll bring up the second baseman, John Kennedy. Kennedy struck out against Cardwell his first time up. Cardwell from the stretch now. The pitch to Kennedy is a 2-8 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Cardwell fans Kennedy for the second time. 2 away, and Sutton will be the hitter. Right-handed hitter. Cardwell from the stretch. 4-8 right-handed, struck him out. And that's the 5th strikeout of the game. Excuse me. The 6th strikeout of the game for Cardwell now. No runs, no hits, they leave 1. Let me double check that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks for Cardwell. Oh, I hear you, Kenyon. No, I would never make it a job. In all honesty, the only time I ever felt a game become a job is if they go past 12 innings. No, make that 11. 11 innings. 10 innings, you're excited because it's an extra inning game. Nobody scores. Nobody scores in the 11th. By the 12th, I'm thinking, come on, somebody just win the game. I also don't want to go 10 days without a game, though. Well, I'll tell you this, Frank, I feel a hell of a lot better than I did yesterday. As far as getting enough sleep and whatnot, I'm in a good position to handle it, which I was not yesterday. Slept terribly the night before, and I was dragging ass all day. Don Clendenin will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Don 0 for 1 today. Don Sutton into the windup. It's a 1-5, struck him out. K tally going now as Sutton gets his 6th. 6 strikeouts for each starting pitcher, and here's Mazeroski. We might go 13 if nobody scores. Mazeroski standing in from the right side. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Number 7 for Sutton. So Sutton, he's got that 12-6 curveball working today. Just enough fastballs to make it effective. 2 outs, nobody on, and Bob Bailey will step to the plate. Bailey struck out in the 3rd. Sutton into the windup. That's a 1-7 right-handed. A double to 3 on an 8. That's going to hang up in center field for Willie Davis, who races back and makes the grab for the out. 1, 2, 3, go the Bucks in the 5th. We've played 5. And it is scoreless. Talking again about Sutton, I could talk all day long about Don Sutton. A good Sutton game was 12-17 pop-outs. Pitched backwards, pitched high in the zone, defied Dodger coaching, who were trying to get him to do just the opposite. Definitely a mind of his own. Probably why he became my favorite player as a teenager. Anyone who defied authority had a leg up in my book at that point in time. We're moving to the 6th in a scoreless duel between 2 Dons, Sutton and Cardwell. Dodgers will send up the top of the order, Maury Wills to start it off. Wills has bounced to Mazeroski twice today. Cardwell into the windup. That's going to be a 3-3 right-handed. Shallow fly ball into right field. Easy play for Clemente. And there's 1 down. Well, if you can think of one, Franklin, you're better than me. Here's Jim Gilliam now 0 for 2. Switch hitter batting left. Cardwell the windup. Here's the pitch to Gilliam on a 1-9, a soft liner right into the glove of Clendenin. So a liner to first, 2 away, and Willie Davis will be the batter. Davis has the only Dodger hit of the game, a single back in the first. He's 1 for 2. This is Cardwell's first inning of potential fatigue, by the way, as he comes set into the windup. The pitch to Willie's a 6-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. Number 7 for Don Cardwell. It's a 1-2-3 inning. That's what I said yesterday, Franklin. 2 Dons and neither of them named Corleone. First real tough decision of the game, with Cardwell set to lead off the bottom of the 6th in a scoreless contest. I can't take him out. He's pitching a frickin' one-hitter. Cardwell will hit. Here's the pitch from Sutton. That's going to be a 4-5 right-handed. That's a grounder to shortstop X. Tough play for Wills. 3E27 as Wills ranges behind the bag. Here's the play. It's the E rating. A roll of a 9 on a 27. He's got it. Throws to first in time. So 6-3X, Cardwell retired. And here's Alou. Alou, 1 of 2 Pirate hits on the day, doubled in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 today. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the one that pitch to Matty is a 110 right-handed base hit into right field. And Matty Alou with his 2nd hit of the day. He's 2 for 3. Alou, a star 15 stealer. Let's check the Dodger battery now. Sutton with a poor hold, +4. Roseboro with a cannon arm, -3, however, makes it +1. Alou, a 16, will be held on, making him a 14. And even though he has the 11 caught stealing in this kind of a game, he's going to try for it. 3 through 8 for a 14. 8, he's got it. The pitch to Moda. There goes Alou, 1 to 14. Roseboro's throw. He's out at second. So Matty Alou caught stealing. Just the first time he's been caught all season. He has 4 stolen bases. What's the B and C holds, Frank? Are you talking about the basic stealing? No, we're not. We're not using that. If that's what you mean. Thank you, Franklin. Yeah, I think they had to go for it there. And with 2 down, here's the next pitch to Moda. 5-7 right-handed. That's going to be just missed the double, and he'll settle for a long single. And Moda's aboard. So a 2-out single for Moda. Same situation. Star 15 stealer, he'll be held, making him a 14. The big difference here is he has a 10 through 12 automatic caught, so he will not try for the lead. Right, yeah, Frank, we're using super advanced stealing. I'm playing advanced game, but with super advanced stealing and base runner advance. I can see where that would be confusing. Two down, runner at first being held, and here's Roberto Clemente. Sutton checks the runner, now from the stretch. The pitch to Roberto with a 5-10 right-handed fly ball to center and shallow. Here comes Willie Davis coming hard. He's there. to make the catch to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left on. We're scoreless through 6. Yeah, no, I thought you knew that, Frank. I'm not using the basic stealing ratings. If you're using the basic stealing ratings, you would not have to roll for a lead, for one thing. Ben, you're a very good one to go to when it comes to the rules. I found you've helped me out numerous times. As I've said before, being new to the game, they're fresh in your head and you're good at it. On Moda's hit, well, I'd have to look and see where Moda's hit was. If Alou didn't steal. Well, where was, what the hell, let's take a look at it. I'm rewinding it now. Moda's 5-7 with a 2-star. That would have been a 2-star single. He would not have scored. He would have stopped at third. Okay, guys, we've got 6 scoreless innings in the book. Masterful pitching performance on both sides, particularly for Cardwell, who's only allowed a first inning single in this one. He's in his second endurance inning, and he'll face Fairley, Parker, and Roseboro here in the 7th. Fairley 0 for 2. Cardwell into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Fairley. It's a 5-3 lefty. It's a fly to right field X. That's Clemente. Clemente racing to the line. A 1E13. And here's the roll on the play. On a 2, Clemente, amazing running catch in foul territory. Oh my goodness, did he come a long way to haul that one down. And it's a web jam by Roberto Clemente. Take a 1 outfielder to make that catch. So a tremendous play, 9X exclamation by the great Roberto Clemente. Fairley's retired and there's 1 down. Here's Wes Parker now. He struck out twice so far against Cardwell. Cardwell getting his sign. The windup, the pitch to Parker, a 5-6 left-handed is a base hit up the middle. Just the 2nd hit today for LA. Parker, not a star stealer. However, Cardwell with that terrible hold, +5, he'd be a 19 if he could get it. 7 or 12. They're going to have to hold him on, make him a 17. And he's going to try for it. 7 or 12. 8, he does not get the lead. And here's the next pitch from the stretch to Roseboro. 1-5 right-handed. Fly ball into right field and playable. Clemente drifting over a bit and grabs it for out number 2. And here he is. Oh my goodness. An appearance by Mookie. 7th inning. Boy, I'd like to get this Griffith out of here. We'll give him one more at bat. I usually say 3 at bats or 7 innings. Griffith will hit, left-handed hitter. The pitch from Cardwell is a 1-5. Grounder down to first. Clendenin wide of the bag. Snares it. Feeds Cardwell for the out, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. And we're going to get this nameless Clark Griffith out of the game. Lou Johnson will come in and take over in left. Mookie knows better than that, Frank. Let me get back to live here. And welcome to Kurt Miller. How's your day, Kurt? Yeah, right as we stretch for the 7th, we are scoreless. I'm going to take that opportunity to use the facilities. I'll be right with you. Okay, we're back. That's a good one, Kurt. One of their best live numbers, especially in the later days of the band. The later incarnations of Jethro Tull. I consider the classic period ended in 1980, were the departures of Barry Barlow, John Evans, and David/D. Palmer. I loved your oh man, you really reached for a deep track the other day with Summer Day Sands. I meant to comment on that and then I forgot. But I enjoyed it at the time. I'm sorry I didn't mention it then. I do have focus issues. It should be pretty obvious at some times. Remind me when this game is over to show you something. I got this package in the mail last night. I just put this item together, assembled it today. You guys got to see this, but I won't interrupt the game for that. Bottom of the 7th. In a scoreless duel, this is Sutton's first inning of potential fatigue. It'll be Pagliarone, Alley, and Clendenin for the Pirates. Pagliarone 1 for 2 today as Sutton comes set. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-10 right-handed. A fly to center field X. Tough play for Willie Davis. A 2E12 going back on the ball. Still going back on a 7. Makes a fine running catch. So 8X, Pagliarone retired. Well, sure, Kenny, if we can get anybody on. We tried to steal once. That didn't work out. We'll keep trying. Here's Gene Alley with one away. Alley struck out twice today. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the pitch to the right-handed hitting shortstop on a 5-4 righty. It's a grounder to third base X. That's Gilliam. 4E23. Tough play for Gilliam. And here's the play. On a not flat 20, that's going to be a re-roll. These dice will stand. On an 18, he's got it and throws him out. Nice play by the old man Gilliam. That was his second time he was coaxed out of retirement, by the way. 1966. Activated from coaching duty would be more accurate. And here's Clendenin with 2 down. Clendenin 0 for 2 today. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the windup down the pitch to Clendenin on a 2-8 right-hander. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Johnson at the track at the wall. It's gone. Don Clendenin with a 2-out home run in the 7th, and the Pirates lead it 1-0. Let's look at it again. 2-8 right-hander to 19. The roll is an 8. And for Don Clendenin, his 6th home run of the season. And the crowd going wild here in Pittsburgh. So it's Don Clendenin who breaks the scoreless duel with a 2-out home run. Bill Mazeroski will bat now. Sutton into the windup. Here's the pitch to Maz on a 6-6. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Sutton's 8th K of the day ends the inning, but the Pirates score first with a 2-out blast by Don Clendenin. And they go to the 8th inning with a 1-0 lead. Checking the Pirates defensively now. You've already got Moda in left. That's about as good as it gets. They're a good defensive ball club to begin with. Even if Stargell is playing left, he's a hard guy to take out of a game, right? That'll be the end of the day for Sutton, as he's due to bat second in the 8th. You know, I just noticed I forgot to write the real-life score in here. Okay, that changes it, because we're not going to use Bob Perky. Roy Face will begin tossing in the Pittsburgh pen in a save situation. Cardwell will begin the inning, his 3rd endurance inning. He'll be facing Kennedy, the pitcher's spot, and Wills. Kennedy struck out twice so far against Cardwell. Cardwell gets the sign from Pagliarone. There's the pitch to Kennedy. It's a 4-9 right-handed, and that is, oh my God, can you believe it? Triple to 1. He rolls the 1, and that's into left center and rattling around. Alou chasing it down, Kennedy rounding, and he is safe at 3rd with a leadoff triple. And there is today's triple. Sutton due up. He will not bat. Tommy Davis will hit for the Dodgers. I'll leave this one up to Frank. How short, Frank? Would you pull him now? Absolutely, Kurt. Clendenin part of the Miracle Mets. Yes, sirree. And Harry Walker has conferred with his coaching staff, and now he's going out to the mound, and that's going to do it for Don Cardwell. Roy Face is ready. The Pittsburgh closer, 18 saves in real life. Cardwell, a big round of applause from the crowd as he exits. He only allowed 3 hits on the day. Three hits, no runs so far, but a runner on third and nobody out, that's his. He walked only 1 and struck out 7. But they're going to go to the closer, Roy Face. I was waiting for that, Franklin. This triple thing is really getting crazy. Is it selective memory? Is because we're noticing it? I mean, for the fact of the matter is, I am way ahead of the triples pace for the major leagues for that season. There's no doubt about that. Here's Tommy Davis on to bat for Sutton. Davis 8 for 25 on the season. That's 320. No homers, 8 RBIs. The Pirates will pull the infield in here. Face in the replay. 2-1, 6 saves, and a 3.95 ERA across 14 innings of work. Nobody out, runner on third. That's Kennedy, represents the tying run. Tommy Davis at the plate. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch on a 6-4 right-handed fly ball to right field, B question mark. So Kennedy could tag up on that. 13 plus 2, 15, but who's in right field? It's the legendary -5 arm of Roberto Clemente, and they're going to hold him. One down, Maury Wills the hitter. Infield will remain in. Wills an A bunter. Whoops. Thank you, Ben. I did. Yeah. Let's get Davis back up here. 6-4 swung on and missed. Strike 3. I beg your pardon, and thank you, Ben. Not that he was going to score anyway, but that's a strikeout for Roy Face. And a tip of the cap once again to Ben Witz. One out, Maury Wills the hitter. Face into the windup now, infield in. Here's the pitch to Wills. That's going to be a 5-9 left-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Holy cow, what about this Roy Face? With a runner on third and nobody out, he fans Tommy Davis. He fans Maury Wills. And it will be up to Jim Gilliam. Should it be up to Jim Gilliam? Not much on that right-handed side. Alston's going to the bench. Jim Lefevre will come on and hit for Gilliam. Lefevre, who would stay in the game at third base, Thank God for the whiteout. 3E24. Better third baseman. Switch hitter. Willie Davis on deck, if you're thinking about walking Lefevre. So here's the situation. Top of the 8th. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Runner at third with 2 away, and Jim Lefevre steps to the plate from the left side. Face checks the runner. Now the windup. The pitch to Lefevre's a 1-5 comebacker. Face has it, throws to Clendenin, and Face gets out of it. Oh my God, what a job by Face. The Dodgers strand a runner at third. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, Ben's been invaluable to me, keeping me honest. Phil Regan, who pitched in this game in real life, will come on for the Dodgers. Seven innings for Sutton. He allowed 5 hits and a run. Did not walk a man and struck out 8. A fine game from Sutton, but he's on the losing end of it right now. Regan on the season. 3-0 with 6 saves and a 3.54 ERA. And he'll be facing Bailey, the pitcher's spot, and Alou. I should have double switched with Face. Damn it, that's my weak link. Could have switched him out for Clendenin, I suppose. Oh well. Okay, water under the bridge. Here's Bailey to lead it off. Bailey 0 for 2 today. Regan into the windup. Here's the pitch to Bailey. That's a 110 right-handed triple to 7. That's going to be down for extra bases. Rolls to the wall. Davis picks it up. Bailey rounding and is into second with a leadoff double. So Pirates threatening to add on some insurance here. I'd like to keep Face in the game. He's a C bunter. Roll for inner back. 1-3 it's in. It will be back. He's a C. He's going to lay it down. C on a 10. Batter is safe. Leading runner is thrown out. Oh my goodness. By the pitcher. So that goes 1-5 force. And Face fails to get down the bunt. Bunted it too hard back to the mound. Regan turned and fired down to third, and they got the lead man. That'll bring up Matty Alou with 1 down. Alou 2 for 3 on the day. Regan checks the runner, now from the stretch. The pitch to Matty's a 5-3 left-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Regan, fine fielding pitcher, 2E0. Here's the play. On a 4 error range on the E0, it's a double play. That'll go 1-6-3. X, and the side is retired. Franklin looked it up. So the Pirates wasted an excellent chance to tack on an insurance run at the bottom of the 8th. Face unable to get the bunt down, or actually he bunted it too hard. But they don't pay Face to hit. They pay him to close out games. And that's what he's looking to do as we go to the 9th. Willie Davis, Ron Fairley, and Wes Parker standing in his way. I think we can do one thing for the Pirates here. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I was thinking I could put Pagan at third for Bailey. A 3E25. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. It's a slight improvement. So Jose Pagan will come into the game in Bailey's spot and play third base. Face trying to record his 7th save here of the season. Willie Davis to lead it off. He's 1 for 3 today. Face into the windup. The pitch to Willie. 4-12 left-handed, and he loses him ball 4. Not a good idea if you're Face. Davis a star 17 stealer. Face a -1. Pagliarone a 0. That's 16. They'll hold him on, making him a 14. And here's Fairley at bat, and he's going to try for that lead, 1-14. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. 7, he does not get the lead. Back number, no chance. 12-8. So Davis being held, Fairley steps up to the plate 0 for 3 today. Face checks the runner, now from the stretch. The pitch to Fairley, that's a 110 right-handed. Grounder to third base, that is Pagan, just inserted into the game. He goes down to Mazeroski for 1, and that's all they'll get. Davis comes in hard. That'll be a force play, 5-4. That puts Fairley at first, no threat to steal, and Wes Parker will be the hitter with 1 down. Parker 1 for 3. Face checks the runner, taking his time now, staring in to get the sign. From the stretch, the pitch to Wes Parker. 3-7 right-handed, and he loses him ball 4. The second walk of the inning issued by Face. Face rated 2 for relief endurance. That's where he came in. He's pitched 1, so 1 more hitter walk will fatigue Face. Pirates get busy in the bullpen. Pete Mickelson throwing in a hurry down there now. Well, Frank, I would say yes unless he fatigues. You got to take him out if he fatigues, right? National Biscuit Company, right? You even got me hooked in with that one. I worked for them for a very short period of time after I retired from Safeway. First and second, 1 away. Here is John Roseborough now. Roseborough 0 for 2 with a walk. 1 more hitter walk will tire Face. Face from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Roseborough. It's a 3-4 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop. Alley has it to Mazeroski for 1, and that's all they're going to get. That's a force play. 6-4 force. Parker is erased. Fairly down to third. And the Dodgers are down to their last out. And it will be Lou Johnson, the team RBI leader, came into the game defensively for Griffith in the 8th. actually in the 7th. And welcome OG, who's entered the chat. I'm laughing at Ben's comment. No, that's frickin' funny. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Runners take their lead. Face staring in now. Here's the pitch to Lou Johnson. That's going to be a 3-8 right-handed, and he hits him and just misses the 1 to boot. Holy crap. So Lou Johnson hit by the pitch for the 7th time this season. That leads the league, by the way. Are they going to leave it up to Kennedy? Well, he's a better hitter than Nate Oliver. Not much on the bench. Torborg. Could bring Al Ferrara in. Hit by pitch does not count against Face's fatigue, by the way. Walks and or hits. They're going to send up Ferrara. Nate Oliver could come in and play second if need be. So with the game on the line, Al Ferrara grabs a bat. Ferrara on the season hitting just 161. He's 5 for 31. He does have a home run. Bases loaded, 2 down, 1-0 Pirates here in the 9th. Runners take their leads. Face stares in. Here's the pitch to Al Ferrara. It is a 4-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's the ball game. So Face gives the home fans a little thrill ride in the 9th. But he hangs on for the save. I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. The Pirates salvage 1 game of the 3-game series here, avoid the sweep with a 1-0. Oh my God, what a beautiful game. Face 2 innings for the save, his 7th of the season. Cardwell with a gem squares his mark at 2-2. Sutton takes his first loss of the season. He's 4-1. Reagan won scoreless. Face in his 2 innings gave up a hit. Walked 2 and hit a batter. And struck out 3, including the last man. That's good, Kurt. I like that, and I agree. Cardwell and Clendenin. Yeah, why not? We can have 2 players of the game. That Clendenin homer, man, I'll tell you what, though. 2-out home run in the 7th. Only run of the ball game. Sutton hung a curve, and Clendenin did not miss it. For the Pirates, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. The Dodgers, no runs, 4 hits, no errors. A pitching masterpiece on both sides. Pirates take control of first place, 19-9. Dodgers drop to 20-11. I want to thank everybody for watching. Yeah, that was the song of the day, Kurt. Nothing was easy for Roy Face. Have a great night, everybody. Probably tomorrow morning, I would like to wrap up the day and the week. May 15th was a Sunday, of course. We got one more game and we'll update the stats. That's going to be the Braves at the Cardinals. Tony Cloninger for the Braves. Art Mahaffey. Is that the correct way to pronounce it? Mahaffey for the Cardinals. Art Mahaffey. I vaguely remember the name. I can't say I'm really familiar with Art. Yeah, one mistake to Clendon. Mookie. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you the thing. God, you reminded me of it, Frank. Thank you. Check this out. I got to get back far enough to do it justice. I don't think I can from this angle. Have to zoom. There we go. A floor-to-ceiling cat tree. Yeah, he was on it earlier. He loves this thing. I don't know where he is right now. Mookie. Meow, meow. What the heck? Where are you, Mookie? Sometimes he likes this box. No, that's the box the tree came in. That arrived yesterday evening. I was too tired to assemble it. Mookie. Hell, he's nowhere to be seen. There he is, behind the couch. Come on out, buddy. Meow, meow. There's Mookie. Mookie, did you hex my Dodgers? It's all good. It's all good, buddy. Stretch it out. And he disappears into his carrier. His food's in there. Yeah, that was one thing I saw in that DVD I bought. You want to get them used to it. They're not afraid of a carrier. Keep their food ball in there. They'll learn to love it. So yeah, a little tour. Someone commented on this thing on the 1982 stat broadcast. Thought it was a Roger Dean yes thing. It's not. It's actually a guy named, I gotta look again now, Bill Ogden. It's a 71 calendar for a Laguna Beach record store called the Sound Spectrum. Opened in 1969. It's still open to this day, and the same guy owns it. That's pretty impressive for a small business. Of course, he owns the building, or else he'd have been priced out of town decades ago. That's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. tomorrow morning, sometime, after I get coffeed up and have breakfast, 10, 11, something like that, we're going to go with the Braves at Cardinals. Finish off the week. Then we'll get the stat update in. And we'll just play it by ear. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be seeing you soon.